Alright, hello and welcome back to Pathologic. What may or may not be the final episode of The Bachelorette, at least. I am planning on doing the hard specs and the changeling routes, but... sorry about that, one sec. Alright, sorry, a little glitch there, but I am kind of worried, part of me is worried that I missed some event flag somewhere, so... There's kind of a bit of dramatic irony going on. The title of this video you'll be able to see either has final or end of Bachelorette or something like that in the title, or it doesn't. And so you'll know right away if something's gone horribly wrong or not. I kind of just gotta go through the motions of day 12 and we'll see, but yeah, that's what's going on today. So we left some letters open to read through. I don't know why that keeps happening. But yeah, let's read through some letters here. First off, so we have a letter from day 11 that we didn't read. So be it. Tomorrow they're going to pay the full price of their arrogance. Each one of us will keep their word and fulfill their duty. We will appease the higher justice, and in doing so, avenge ourselves. None of us are going to act against the truth. Congratulations, Dinkowski. Our elegant maneuver was a success. We took the winnings and placed our opponents into a position in which they have no other choice but to vanish. The council is tomorrow. The legal considerations required be held in the presence of someone serving as a representative of the local authorities. The three ruling families are completely bankrupt, however, so the so-called mistress will attend the council in their stead. She will vouch for our intentions before the townsfolk. Do you have any binding obligations towards the families in power? If so, this may become an issue tomorrow. It would be a shame if you weren't allowed to attend the proceedings. Alas, the law is the law, and I won't be able to do anything about it. Aglayalich Inquisitor. He respects his proposal. These two are just hey, you can talk to them and get some bonus stuff in the ending if you talk to them too, but we'll read through. I was told you're looking for an alternative way right on. I know what we must do. We have no other choice but to offer an inordinate sacrifice. Doing so is still the most humane thing that can be done. If you think you could trust my judgment, come see me and I will tell you the details of it. I'm running out of time. So much has happened recently that I feel as if I'm being torn in two. Help me. Brock. Then this is from the Changeling. Do you remember the letter I sent you? The time has come. The victory I'm trying to lead you to is not enabled by reason. It is made possible by faith alone. You cannot prove it. You can only feel it deep within your heart. I am in the left wing of the termitary, so come along if you want to talk. My plan is the only one that will work. Nothing has to die. There. Oop, got a little glitchy there. Inquisitor's reminder. This is just the gameplay mechanics on today. Tonight at 7, proceedings will be held at the town cathedral. I earnestly request your attendance. You will introduce your argument before this obtuse commander in order to substantiate your, I should hope, decision. I also ask you to put all your current affairs in order before the proceedings. The situation is at a stalemate. Whatever authority I wield is not enough to guarantee that the right decision is enforced. P.S. I rely upon your discretion as well as your decency. Aglayalich Inquisitor. So that's to end the game. I think you gotta go to the cathedral at 7. And then, learn from the powers to be. This is if you heal someone else's bound, someone else's adherence, as well as your own. Bachelor, we thought we should write because you don't seem to be listening to what we tell you. We've gotten out of hand. As of late, you're doing whatever you please. This is unacceptable. You're spoiling the game. If this letter reaches you in good time, do come to the polyhedron. They will let you inside. Keep your eyes tightly closed, descend to the bottom, and say 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes. We'd like to have a little chat with you. The people who own you. So that is something. In fact, that's, I believe, the first letter we're going to act on. We're going to go to the polyhedron. I'm going the wrong direction. And do that, because that is one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure everyone was healed is because, I know there's some, like, plot stuff to do with that, so this is one of them. There's another one I still don't fully know if we've unlocked everything that we need to. Because one of the things with this game is that, like, you know, there's essentially 3 different versions of it going around. Like, there's the original, there's the HD remaster on Steam, which is the one I'm playing, and then there's the quote-unquote pathologic 2, which is just a, like, remake, not just remaster, but a full-on, like, remake with new mechanics and that of the Bachelor route of pathologic. And so when you look at information, not that I've been doing that a whole lot, I've been trying to avoid that in the most part, but when you do look for information, a lot of it tends to be kind of mixed up between information about the original game and information about Pathologic 2, and like mixed up between all 3 versions, so I'm never fully 100% certain that everything is in order. But hopefully it is. I'm also kind of wondering if I should just keep talking as we continue on, because, like, this is the final day, right? This is as good a time as any just to show off the transit. It's already 1 p.m. as well. But I have kind of, like, routes that I like to use, like going around the what do they call it? They call it Stairway to Heaven? That seems like too obvious a reference, but that maybe is what they call that stairway. And this takes you to, like, there's a little U thing here, and I believe that's Laura right there, the House of the Living. That's one thing, like, having so much time in this. Hopefully it should make the other routes easier, having a better sense of where everything is, because I know that can be a problem, like, with the game before, trying to find stuff out. And also, I thought that in some sense the characters are listed easiest to hardest, like the Bachelor route is the easiest, then the Harspex's route is harder than that, and then the Changeling's route is harder than that. Which is why I'm opting to do them in that order. But if that is the case, then, you know, like, having the knowledge acquired from previous playthroughs should hopefully help, like, both of just, like, how general game mechanics, like how food prices and that work, and knowing the map, and maybe even knowing the plot. I don't know how the, like, different character plots overlap, like, if they're all, like, going through the same story at the same time, and they're just from, like, different perspectives, or if there is legitimately some kind of difference between them. But I mean, I guess, hopefully, we'll find that out for ourselves eventually. And that's what I was going to say on that. I was hoping that would kill enough time for me to, like, have the trip here be finished, but I still have all these flights of stairs. I don't know how easy it is to, like, fall off accidentally. I don't think I've ever actually done it, but it's always, like, a big worry for me. Also, the rain stopped. Like, I don't know. Oh, man, I'm getting hungry. I didn't even remember to think about those gauges. I'm gonna get tired too pretty soon. I'll probably have to take a nap when I get finished with this. But yeah, this is going to be something. It sure is. I'll save here just in case. In case of what? I don't know. And also... Alright, sorry about that. Just had a couple things to do to make sure everything is good. Alright, so apparently there's some stuff happening here in the polyhedron.
If we, the outcast children, live...
Okay, that's just the standard talk, and you don't have anything to say. Which one's the polyhedron? Which one's escape? I think it's this one, right? Alright, let's talk to... Oh. Or not. Yeah, this one you don't have to interact with, it just takes you right there. You don't have anything to say. Do you have anything? I don't think most of these people have dialogue. It says, like, talk to everyone, but none of these kids seem capable of saying anything, so... You might have to go down to the lowest level. Like, I'm thinking there's some kind of interaction to do here. But, well, I mean, obviously there is, otherwise they wouldn't put this in the game, but... No one here seems to want to talk to me. There's some people down here, and there's also another icon down here, so... Okay, none of you have any dialogue. Oh. This is a cutscene. Are you children the powers that be? Is that the joke here? They are talking. And there's some... Is that a stone structure of some vaguely geometric proportions? Are you the powers that be? I was kind of joking there. Hey. Oh, you're like my height. Let's see. Don't be upset. Being a toy is also nice. But why did you play it like this? What couldn't you have chosen a different game? Like tag or something, huh? Because we've been to a funeral. They've been sending us out to the garden for 10 days in a row so that we wouldn't get anyone's way. They've been taking us to the cemetery for a week now, Bachelor. If you keep being naughty, I'll take you with me next time and leave you among the wreaths so that you could know better. But why did you need dolls? Couldn't you have played without us? Well, we did need to find some use for you. We never liked you all that much anyway. You've always been the scary doll. Playing with you is no fun. So you stuck the throwaways into the thick of it. The ones that could fix things. You can't always have a smart doctor man at hand. That's just how the game goes. Will you help us heal the town? I'll heal it for my own sake, not yours. Oh? Do you have anything to say? Hey, look, it's the Bachelor. Wow, he's so big. How'd you find it? They already told you, right? I want to read everything before I comment on what's happening here. So the powers that be are you. I want you to tell me everything. No problem. What do you want to know? What diabolical game are you playing? Like it's a magic sandbox. See how it reflects the mirrors? It's because everything's for real there. Here's a town we've made out of sound. And there's this awful thing going on there, an epidemic. It's all crumbling. The town is falling apart, but you sent heroes there to fix it. To fix it? It's rotting, see? Ew. You hope they'd think of something, more than sand at least. They're magical too, you know, the heroes are. Take you for example, look at how it all worked out. You used to be a doll, now you're alive. Perhaps the rest also work like this? Did you know that your dolls were alive? Everything is alive around here. It's this structure, it brings things to life. It's not like we're twisting anyone's arm, it just happens, all on its own. We only built a town, then it became miraculous, all on its own. And the dolls? We just stuck the throwaway ones in. They were lame anyway. Oops, sorry. Just don't you touch anything else around here. Don't stick anything there anymore. So, what does this mean? Can I leave? That was the town, I guess. I got a letter. A letter from the makers. Please do come by to meet us at the theater here for a minute. I'd like to have a rather inconsequential but mature talk with you. We apologize in advance for the inconvenience. The people who executed the whole thing. Okay, well, that's certainly a plot twist. Is this like metaphorical? Is that real? It doesn't really answer my questions, but it sure does raise some more. Like, is that literal? Is that meant to be taken literally? Like, this, like, there's a portal from there to the town, so, like, normally the implication would be that this whole thing is just, like, in imagination, but in that case, would we talk to them literally? Also, it doesn't really tell us anything about what's happening here. That everything be fictional. I mean, it already is fictional, so I don't know what it's supposed to add. I don't know what to think here yet. Because, I mean, this whole thing, too, is optional. Like, I don't know exactly how the endings work. I have a suspicion, but I think that, like, you may or may not be supposed to see that kind of thing. So, in any case, I'm gonna go back to Eva's house. I guess I should see if that woman's there on the lower floor, too. And then we'll go to the theater, we'll talk to whoever's gonna be waiting for me there. Okay, so it does say you only get that letter if you save everyone, if I'm interpreting it right. Like I said, it's kind of hard to read what's happening here, especially given all this like metaphor talk as well. It says in the guide a letter from the people at the theater, which also, there was also this whole kind of running theme that this whole thing is being run by the people at the theater, like Mark. Which I also don't know if that's supposed to be taken literally or not, but we'll sleep for a little bit. Okay, that should be good. So now it looks like we're doing another theater run. That's always fun. Is it? Also, the rain stopped. Right, I always... Recently I've been forgetting what my route is to get to the theater. Also, it's 6 p.m., but it seems like brighter than it was. Is it only going to get brighter throughout the day, or does it get dark? I mean, we've already been to like the end of day 12 twice, I thought. I should know this. But like all this being either children playing or a play put on in a theater, would it make sense? I mean, it would make sense in like a way to frame what's been happening, but I don't know why they would do that. Like, My problem so far, the whole like, oh, it was just a dream kind of ending typically ends up feeling disappointing because, it doesn't really add anything to the story directly. Similarly, I don't really know what's going on here. Okay, what is your deal? Come in, they're waiting for you. Take my coat, my bag. Okay. Is it something else? Yeah, there's those two. There's no audio. Yeah, is that supposed to be happening? Okay, cool. Yeah, you two guided me through the start, right? The executor. The hero is but a doll, and so are the children. The real game is what's happening between you and us. That's supposed to be me as the player, and you as, like, an abstraction of the game software? I cannot leave Bachelor's body. You're imposing your limits upon me. Bachelor has lost his battle for freedom ever since the day he was born. What about you? I wanted to stop the epidemic, even a make-believe one. Did you understand what the epidemic really was? It was truly rather obvious. I now know it's all a children's game in a glass sandbox, but what for? Was the disease the true evil, though? The disease is only a method, the weapon of evil, just like a scalpel in Bachelor's hands. The disease will go devouring itself. Then there will be war, famine, heresy. Was it really worth all that effort? Look around. All this for a single wretched town. No, it was a town that had been built for you, not the other way around. We apologize if it's been a disappointment. I still don't get it. It has been built so that you can make your final choice now. We are observing you. Everyone who makes it to midnight will have made a choice, one way or another. We want to see what yours looks like. You still have a chance to change your mind. I've made it already. I know what to do. Good, if it really is you who knows it. We're observing you. We believe that we have a common goal. We want to know if the impossible may be possible. I will be the one to say the final word. Do you have anything more? Nope. Alright, and then there's you, Tragedian. You see how sad our fortune is. We all put our hopes in you. We poor actors were hoping you'd become the director of a new show. The old one had been beaten to death. But you turned out to be a doll. But I'm not a doll. Did you hear me right? Who is it speaking? Did I hear you right? Who is it speaking? It's me, the player. Oh, then I apologize profusely. You're definitely not a doll, but all this seems to be unhelpful for our hero now. He is humiliated, crushed, most importantly, he is deprived of the power that we had all hoped for. By the way, are you still willing to take responsibility for him? Yes, he is my responsibility. I will stay with him to the very end. His words shall be my words, his deeds shall be my deeds. No, then I apologize once again. Perhaps not all is lost yet. Let's wait for the finality and see if the day brings any surprises. We still have a chance to play in a drama with an unpredictable story. Yes, and highlight Bachelor Dankovsky better. It's my solo now. Kainzig, can I help you with something? Tell me, who are you in this puppet world? We don't belong to the puppet shows. We are the actors of a mime performance. I, for example, am a miserable actor. My line of character is always bemoaning the inevitable losses. Our repertoire is quite limited, really. The esteemed impresario may have oversold the importance of the local theater. Stop messing with me. Are you a child? I'm exactly what you think I am. A collection of poorly rendered polygons on a screen. Is that how we're going that far with it? Why are you giving me that look? Do not ascribe a more important role to me than the one I've been assigned from the very beginning. I'll fail a bigger role. The mask isn't expressive enough. Take care, you little scribble. Okay. So, this is a way, I guess, of like, hey buddy. this is a way, I guess, of, like, kind of continuing on with the theme of, like, there being abstractions in the game that, like, know it's a game. Like, at the very beginning of the game, right, you meet up with the executor and the Shidi in there, outside of Eva's house, right? And they kind of walk you through how all the game mechanics work. So I guess this is their way of having them come back and finish what they started in a way. I still don't really know what this is supposed to entail for, like, the game meaning-wise. Okay, I'll sleep for another hour so we can get on with it, but... I don't know what to think here yet. I guess, like I said, that's all, the thing to keep in mind too, that's all bonus content. So, like, you can very easily get, I believe, all the endings without ever seeing any of that, so I don't know if it's meant to be extra textual, if that's just supposed to be like a reward to the player for having like done essentially a effectively perfect run through of the game. I mean, maybe it's a bit overly dramatic, but you know what I mean. Hello. Come, Bachelor. The Assembly is awaiting your decision. The queens of this chessboard are in a deadlock. They have each other pinned down. The game may very well end in a tragic stalemate. You are a pawn at the finishing line. Deliver your checkmate, mate. I'll hear laughter from under your ugly beak. Funny, now everything will be decided. The Inquisitor, alas, seems to think she has used you. Confused? Don't you fret, she's also nothing. Everything was leading to this. You are now acting in the interest of inevitability. You can't get away with it. Evil conquers all. Make way. And here we go. Alright, we've seen this cutscene before just to verify how everything works. But there's Block, there's Aglaya. Shouting out people's names. How come the changeling is just entering? Like, what point in time is this supposed to be? Oh, and there's the Harspec. So I just realized we didn't get that part of the cutscene before, right? Like, when we did it before, we entered and just, like, it was just, yeah, Aglaya, Block, and Maria, right? But we also get the changeling and the hair specs now, because, like, that's part of it, right? Because we, like, the cutscene at the theater, I think we only got because we saved all of their bounds, if I read the guide right, so let's talk to everyone. Also, there's a way to get upstairs, I've heard.
There's nothing to talk about now.
Look at them. You see now that she's a victim. Do not paint her as a demon. She's just honestly doing her duty, like you or me. You're protecting Aglaya. Do you have something to say in her defense? I'm just still confused. What did she do to deceive you? Did she lie to you? Has she withheld the truth? I think you've learned everything you have without her help. Every conclusion you've made is your own. The whole town was at your disposal. She had to protect the town at any cost. That was her purpose, and yet she tried to settle personal accounts with her deceased sister while claiming to fulfill a noble duty. Why? She came as a light-bringer capable of resolving all our misfortunes with the power of her intelligence, and ended up being a traitor that tried to salamander another lie under the guise of the ultimate truth. You're just holding a grudge going on, nothing more. You only feel betrayed because you've entrusted yourself to her. But that was your own choice. It's unwise to brand someone a savior beforehand, and then denounce them when they fail to live up to your expectations, even though they didn't know you had them. She knew. That's the difference. She knew and exploded my hopes. You brought this upon yourself. Don't try to get even with the Goliath. If you want to destroy the town and save the tower only to get to her, and push her towards her demise, that would become unbecoming of you, Orion. It is you who will turn to a spiteful puppeteer driven by his thirst for revenge. It's not about revenge. I just want to keep my word and to fulfill my mission fairly. Okay, now let's talk to Clara.
Neither the town nor the tower have to be sacrificed. Everything can be saved.
Well, are you planning to make up your mind anytime soon? I'd still like to know how you're going to keep the town intact. No, Bachelor, you will never understand this. You are smart, but your intelligence holds you back. You will never come to understand my truth. Even though you're close to Marie and believe in Simon's abilities, you are still all too far from understanding the higher purpose of things. And my truth only comes together on that level. Why are you so displeased with my intelligence? Your victory is a victory of pure reason. Look, just like we all, you have reconstructed a picture of the whole universe and found the root of what happened. But your picture is austere and bare bones. You've merely come to understand the mechanics of the events. You're generally a mechanic of a medic. Who are you, then? Me and Barak, we are different, and much more profound, believe me. Your world is mechanically consistent and rational. You want to keep what is reasonable to keep and destroy what is necessary to destroy in order to complete your tragic mission with minimal risk. Are you laughing at me? I want to keep the polyhedron. What can be less logical? You want to keep the polyhedron out of respect for the kindred genius who has calculated the mechanics of a miracle trap, a contraption able to capture what should not be captured. The polyhedron is only a cold mathematical masterpiece made of glass. It's a very different thing to me. Look at you, it's like you're possessed by someone else. Perhaps it's not the same me you knew before. There's more than one me, a lot perhaps. You've got the same pretty face, but who knows whose will is behind it right now. Enough, do whatever you please. Okay, one thing it did say to me, the guide, two last pieces of advice. First, I think talking to Block, we tell him what to destroy, so that ends the game. But it told me to go upstairs first. Is that Eva? It sure is. Hey girl, I thought you were dead.
My bedroom is warmer than this place.
You are. It's what everything I ever wanted now. You're very beautiful, so lifelike. You're incorporeal, aren't you? Now I can fly. A miracle happened. All I had to do was straighten my legs a bit and fly. It's just that I had to abandon my body not to go down. Otherwise I would have fallen. So you have breathed life into this cathedral. Do not grieve, Eva. You have not died in vain. You're the only one who could have said this. I know you'd be the only one to believe my miracle, because you're special. You wouldn't judge me too harshly. You're not really picky, and you're free from religious dogmas. Do you acknowledge my miracle? Yes, I do. But why are you shivering? Is there something depressing you? Oh, but look around. Can you see who's sitting down below now? The ruthless Inquisitor, hand in hand with the blood-stained harspecks. The beak-headed demons are wandering the shrine, and the faceless are serving her. I'm so scared. Easy now, those are ordinary executors. Can you hear whispering beneath the dome? They're speaking to me, but I cannot make out their tongue. I was a slow learner, but I can feel their tone. They're threatening and condemning me. I hear nothing. Will you come here again? Yes, I will. I don't feel like there's anything to be gained from, chastising her for killing herself after she's done it, even if it was probably, even if it was, a bad, unnecessary thing to do. But that's nice. It helps add to the tone of the game. I'm gonna save here. I'm thinking, like I said, I think talking to Block ends the game. So I'm gonna talk to Aglaya and then Maria. And then we'll end things.
It will be as you choose.
I am indeed powerless, as you can see. I'm accused of having arranged your discovery. I've lost my vote of confidence. So tell them whose discovery it is, for the lore is all yours. Are you in doubt? Your diabolical deception is so simple. The cause and the source. It's so easy to put these very different things together, Inquisitor, but they're not the same. In this case, they are. It's strange that you have failed to see that. This place is a utopia that is an abuse of nature. The utopia must be destroyed. It's evil. What is a utopia, Aglaya? Let's talk the last time. What is provoking your hatred so much? So, like, all these conversations I will say to you, I mean, it's clear, but I'm coming from the perspective of, like, saving the tower at the cost of the town, I believe. And so, like, she's supposed to be, like, a kind of foil to that. I'm a humanitarian. My duty is to save people, not kill them. I only condemn a few to death for the sake of the many. I'm offering you to save the happiness of several thousands, hardly shedding any blood at all. A utopia will demand more and more sacrifices, you know. Even this utopia. But why do you think this place is utopia? Nobody conducts social experiments here. Look, this place is more natural than nature. Utopias are usually constructed to embody perfect justice, liberty, or economical thrift. This one, however, is different. This town is not a place that does not exist. It's a place that cannot exist, mustn't exist. Here's where the cause and the source are the same. Do elaborate on that, please. I'm failing to understand where you see the root of all evil. Our country holds the absolute record on experimental utopia designs. And this is a feature that should be interpreted as its absolute virtue. Social masterpieces are rare, but they do happen, and they don't have to be accidental. Indeed. However, somehow they never seem to live too long. At the dawn of the current century, there are almost none left. One gets the impression that there is no country that would imbue its inhabitants with inner force, simply because they happen to inhabit it. There have been examples of this, but they've all been destroyed. Why? I do not know. Let's get back to the matter at hand. A wonderful town is suddenly beginning to die, and no one knows why. Why this one, the one that has managed to produce a wonder? The most curious, the most mysterious, inhabited by the most talented people. What did they do to deserve this? I'll tell you. I'm all ears, because... And the persistent pleasure of the capricious powers that be, the miracle has been accidentally embodied as a polyhedron. It's forced to stay there, captured by the flesh of the town that has nurtured it, feeding it with its resources, people, and hot blood. Its flesh has become its womb and its prison. You're becoming too metaphoric. What does it have to do with my choice and the epidemic? Enslaved miracles die not of anyone's mouth. That is just their nature. You can't hold a miracle with your hands. You can only hold its corpse. The idea is not new. Let's have a closer look at the disease, the embodiment of this logic. Is it good or evil? Why has it come to this town? You consider it to be good? Why did you come to the town at the same time then? You're by all definitions a hero, a miracle maker almost. It was the powers that be that have tried to make you detain a miracle here. Not the poor obsessed Canes. They've only played their part. They represent their own force. But do you really want to go back to being a slave? The powers that be are bending you to submission according to their own design. You're obsessed with revenge, Aglaya. Revenge is a bad companion in the search for the truth. Then tell him, Daniela. There he stands for you, waiting for your word, a puppet, just like... guide his weapons. No one has heard a single word of recommendation from me yet. I'm relying on you completely, just like I said, and to heed my warnings. I remember everything we talked about. Be silent. And there's Maria. I guess she's possessed now.
Feverish. What can it be?
I don't know how to interpret your facial expression, but this is like possessed Maria now? I knew you would come. When will you begin to execute your design, Maria? I've already begun, my Daniela. When the night falls and the wind scatters the smoke above the scorched earth and the dust of the buildings demolished settles, you will see several new constellations light up in the sky. They will plunge their light towards us, and when the first specks of this light reaches the constellations of the polyhedron. I wasn't sure if that's a typo or just a word that I don't know. But yeah, a miracle will happen. What will they be like? How are you going to call them? I'll see, but I mostly expect them to be red. Ruby, scarlet, crimson, carmine, merlot, mahogany, vermilion, garnet, rose, pink, burgundy. Perhaps you may notice something familiar in the structure of these constellations. Where will these constellations come from? They've existed for a long time already. People just couldn't see them before because their light was hurrying towards us from far beyond. Now the first rays of these stars are about to reach our surfaces. You will see their light reflected in the specular planes of the preserved polyhedron. Why are you here, Maria? You ask strange questions. Don't you see that this is my town now? I am the power here. I am the mother, and since I am to give birth to a new town, I want to witness the demise of the old one. This is my duty. I am the last of the Cains. What about your brother? Are you going to share your power with him? There's nothing to be done about it. You have to free up the space for the new guests. My brother will become embittered, betray me, and rebel against me. But I'll find a way to deal with him. He will cower behind Capella's back willingly when my mother's eyes frown and glare at him. Have you become a mistress already? No, I haven't. You won't see it here, unless you're planning to stay, of course. I don't know what to say. I don't know if it matters too much. I'll say this one just for the sake of it. I've considered the pros and cons. I'm staying. Alright, so that's everyone else. I'll save here so we don't have to redo anything. It's already locked in my fate. But here's where everything kind of takes off. You know, I hate to be like that, but I feel like I just looked at our recording length. We've been recording for 43 minutes. I feel like we'll wait to see the endings to another video, which I realize is kind of disappointing, but also too with like how the recording went, I'm kind of worried that something glitched and everything isn't being recorded, so yeah, I'm gonna call this an episode here. To be honest, I'm probably gonna record the next one like right now, but I feel like it'll make more sense to break it up. Maybe I won't though. We'll see. But for now, I'll record an outro in case I do decide to end it here. So for now, as always, thank you for watching. Maybe.